Hello Pisces and welcome to Astro Extra 2011. We're going to review the coming year and what's about to happen for the Pisces in the big picture, big theme sort of way. For those of you who watch the daily horoscopes, you know kind of how things go day to day. We can feel every bump in the road, but very seldom do I step back and look at a whole year in review. And I'm trying this for the first time this year, so I hope you enjoy it. Well, this year for Pisces, there's really a couple of very strong themes. And the themes really orbit around Jupiter, Saturn, and to some degree Pluto, of course. Okay. Now, Jupiter is probably the biggest big deal. Jupiter moves into Aries on January 23rd of this year. What that's going to do for Pisces is, one, Jupiter leaves your sign, which is a good thing. It just spent the last year helping you inflate your ego, inflate your courage, inflate your charisma. Pisces now are on the scene in a whole new way. And from January 23rd on, Jupiter in Aries says it is time to expand your soul capital. It's now time for you to produce based on that ego, to produce based on that charisma, to draw in abundance. So Pisces will be lucky all through the first half of the year when it comes to expanding your ability to produce and expanding your understanding of your value. Now, at the same time, Saturn is in Libra, directly across from Aries. Saturn goes retrograde January 26th, and when it does at 17 degrees, as you are expanding your soul capital through the spring, you are going to reconsider where you draw certain boundaries. You're going to realize that a lot of the reasons why you don't produce is because you give it away, or because you have a boundary issue where you don't allow yourself to receive. You're going to find connections between your value and ability to produce against where you draw your lines or don't draw your lines. And that includes true intimacy as well. I know a lot of Pisces that run away from true intimacy. They want to feel like $1 million, but when a man or a woman shows up to help you feel like $1 million, boink, you're swimming the other way with the other fish, right? Not allowing it in. So boundaries and the changing of your boundaries coincide with your ability to manifest. If you want to draw in great abundance, you must have the appropriate boundaries that protect your value and also that let in the good. And adjusting where your boundaries are comes down to trusting yourself, learning where your own limits are, learning where your own comfort zones are, and thinking outside the box. Just because you're an old and wise soul doesn't mean you know everything. If you knew everything, you would not incarnate on planet Earth. I'm sorry. But the brilliant, most known or learned souls don't get a body. It's only the ignorant fools that get to incarnate. So, that said, you've got your own learning to do, and the struggle really is between the two. Now, on March 12th, Uranus enters Aries, and this is, well, Uranus went in Aries for a couple of minutes last summer in 2010, but this is really the first time Uranus has entered Aries for good since 1927. This means that although you're going to inflate your soul capital and have a very lucky year when it comes to drawing in abundance, it's going to take a full 7 years for Uranus to help you innovate your entire soul capital structure. So you're going to be breaking down and breaking through when it comes to what value is. This means valuing yourself in new ways, innovating the way you value yourself. If you only value yourself by weighing 98 pounds, well, maybe you're going to have to learn how to value yourself at 128. The universe is asking Pisces to innovate in 2011 the way they look at value systems. And these include values as far as good and bad, and evil and good. Value is value consciousness, and that's soul capital. Now, on March 28th, Jupiter and Saturn oppose each other. So on March 28th, it's going to be kind of a funky time of the year. It's going to be a battle literally between you expanding what you're worth and you changing your comfort zones. And probably the one that's going to win is expanding your worth. You're going to probably realize in order to manifest the job or manifest the product or manifest the play or the album or whatever, you're going to have to step into different boundary structures that you're not normally comfortable with. Saturn will be retrograde. Retrograde meaning you'll be reconsidering old boundary systems. There'll be an internalization. You'll have to realize privately that you have to change. April is a funky month, just so you know. I would not make any big life change plans for April. Mercury will be retrograde through most of it. Neptune goes into Pisces for the first time since 1847. That is your sign, by the way. Neptune moving into Pisces is going to be a holy moly, coming to Jesus, California gold rush. That's the kind of like high out of this world expectation, and it will hit Pisces the most. It's in your sign. Has been in Pisces, like I said, since the California Gold Rush. It's thought to believe that this is what led to the French Revolution. This is what led to the Civil War. African Americans in the United States started dreaming of freedom when Neptune went into Pisces. You're going to be dreaming of freedom as of that week and as of April. So April's kind of trippy. Right after your birthday, don't plan anything. June 5th, Jupiter moves into Taurus. Now that's going to shift from soul capital now into your intellect and your communication abilities. It's going to be time for the second half of 2011, despite this tug of war between what you're worth and where your boundaries are. Jupiter in Taurus says, okay, despite all that, time to think bigger, Pisces. You're going to find in the second half of the year that it is your thoughts that mostly hold you back. Small-minded thinking, despite high hopes with Neptune and Pisces. You need to think differently, communicate differently. And for those of you who are messengers for a living, writers, authors, poets, etc., this will be a fortunate time as of June 5th for you to move forward with your message. Saturn then goes direct shortly thereafter. So all of a sudden it's about message in June, and then it's about moving forward with the new boundaries. So contemplating boundaries the first half of 2011, moving forward in a positive way with the correct boundaries the second half of 2011. Now, Uranus is in Aries this year as well, so that innovation of soul capital is going to be the mantra. You will get a break from that July 10th. And then the last period I really want to point out for Pisces and everyone is August is a funky month this year, okay? I don't think you should plan weddings, vacations. Well, vacation will be okay as long as you're taking a break from your life. But we have Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde. Most of the freaking planets in the zodiac are retrograde in August. Not going to be a fun Leo birthday period for the Lions, but it does mean we're doing some major reflecting in August of 2011. You're doing major reflecting, and slowly but surely we come back online as the year progresses. Pluto goes direct September 17th, so you start moving forward again with your place in society. Neptune goes direct in Aquarius for the last time on November 10th. So it's like September, November, December. Uranus direct by December. We have one more Mercury retrograde during Thanksgiving period, but basically the fall is after a huge Leo reflection of everything we are, one by one, planet by planet, we go direct. By the end of 2011, all planets are direct and ready for the 2012 crisis. And of course, I'm not going to talk about what that is right now. You'll have to wait until 2012. All right, Pisces, so to sum up, the big theme of the year is rethinking your boundaries, raising your prices, putting your message out there, and all the while changing your role in society with Pluto. Until 2012, live, love, be.